Let's give that another go. Also, hello everybody, how are you today? Okay. That'd do it. Wonder how that happened. I was trying to read the wrong controller. Hey! Twitch Prime subscription! Thanks, Sarah! That's half a year already. Jesus. Being stupid the other night. Oh. Hey! Hi Harley, how are you? Okay, that was interesting. Well, it's working, so I'm not going to complain. A couple of settings on the controller program are a little bit funky looking, but they are all working, so we're all good. Oh, you missed, Big Birdie. Haha. Doing alright tonight. We got ourselves a teleporter puzzle of sorts to get through tonight, so we're gonna have some fun. I can never remember the actual way that we get through this one. So you get to learn along with me. That is not the way to do it, I'll tell you that much. That much I do remember. So we start here. If we go back here. But this place gets confusing after you keep pushing forward. You see, because all of a sudden we're up here. I would like to get the Mandragora soul, but there's a better place to get it. So from here, if we go forward, we now end up here. And if we go back, well, that's pretty straightforward. But that's not always the case. Oh, hey, got ourselves a fancy cloak. What's that do? A little bit of intelligence, a little bit of defense, not bad. But I'll stick with the Lucky Charm for more drops, because hey, I like stuff like that. And Headhunter's giving us a nice, comfortable plus 3 to all stats right now. Poison Elemental Sword's not super useful in this area, to be honest, but it's still one of my strongest weapons that has that kind of range. So, I could always use the Partisan, though. Not quite as quick, but certainly still fun. Now we're in here. If we go back, we actually end up here. Bad guys are fast and I'm so slow. That's rude to say. Well, those little guys are really fast. The werewolves are pretty quick too. But it's to make it challenging. You gotta look ahead. You gotta see how they wind up their attacks, where they're gonna go. If I was faster than them, there'd be no challenge. That's true. If they are too fast, it wouldn't be very fun. That's why there's only a few enemies that are really, really fast. And when they're that fast, they're usually pretty easy to take out with damage. So I only have to hit them once or twice. Meanwhile, these guys are a little bit slower. But I gotta hit them a few times. The fast enemies also usually don't hurt as bad either. So if I mess up and they do hit me, it's not so bad. The slow guys hurt a lot. TR4-year. Thanks, TR4. That's 5 months. So we meet again. I'm glad to see you're unscathed. Good to see you too. I got something I want to ask you. Sure, go ahead. Someone told me that you are to inherit Dracula's powers. I take it that that lady from the church told you that, did she? It's not true, is it? The term inherit is incorrect. It's true then. I was born on the very day that Dracula was destroyed. So in short, that means that I am Dracula. That can't be right. You've been so kind and friendly to me. That's because I don't consider you a threat to my mission. But that being said, you have made it this far. I sense a power within you. Do tell me, what kind of power has awoken within you? The power to rule. What? You foolish boy, that's impossible. What? I can't remain here any longer. I must get to the throne. Your name is Soma, right? You are wrong, Soma. I will not allow you to rule. What was that all about? Jeez. You totally are brainwashing her, but that's okay. But here we are, the infamous Clocktower. There are 2 things to know about clock towers in Castlevania. 1, they are awful. There are usually traps all over the place, difficult moving platforming, and just notoriously vertical segments. That's not why people hate it. No, no, no. That is only one half of the puzzle. Oof. One of us. These guys. This sine wave pattern flying. Pain in the ass. One of the most hated enemies in all games. The Medusa head. In older Castlevania games, these things are the worst. There's not this verticality to levels that this game has. No. There are pits. And if you fall down pits, you die. And these things come flying off the end of every screen, just waiting to knock you into pits. It is their one joy in life. It is their goal. It is their entire purpose. Hello, Soma. Hey, Yoko. I just ran into Graham. Really? Which way did he go? He was in a rush to get to the throne. Just as I thought. There's something important in the throne room. I'm sorry, Yoko. What's wrong with you all of a sudden? He's not who I thought I was. He was kind to me only because he thought I was powerless. I see. But his attitude changed suddenly when I told him about my power. Well, in his mind, he thinks everything in this castle is his. But it's better this way. What is? The fact that he sees you as an enemy now means you're my comrade. Does it? What? You don't want to be on my side? No, that's not what I meant. It's so much fun to tease you. But this is not the time to be fooling around. Your presence has thrown Graham into a panic. This is our chance. Using his cunning mind, he's been able to evade us up until now. I don't think anyone has seen him panic before. I get it. Circumstances right now are making him act this way. That's exactly right. This is an excellent opportunity to trap him. Well, I must be on my way. See you. So there's something down there, but I can't sink in water. All these construct types in here. Poison Sword just doesn't do the damage it normally does. Another partisan. Valkyrie's being very generous with those. Gremlin. I wonder if I can get you to drop your soul for me. We'll give it a couple of tries, guys. And if it doesn't happen in 10, we'll move on. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. No luck right now. We'll try again later. Is anything hit him a bit harder? Not really worthwhile harder. How does this cut all do? 42, but I can hit him twice with that. Well, enemies have a chance of dropping their souls. You gain power over enemies in this game sometimes when you kill them. So I was hoping to get the gremlins. I don't really remember what it does, but it could be useful. Probably gonna cheese this guy with the whip sword. Remember who's here. Ouch. It's the first repeatable great armor fight. We fought him a little earlier as a boss, where we also had the whip sword to completely invalidate his abilities. Normally you're supposed to get close to him like that, duck under his attacks, and chip out away at his ankles. Oh, you gotta get real close for that overhand swing though, or dodge out of the way entirely. He's got the chance to drop some interesting stuff, and he's got a very rare, very powerful soul that we got incredibly lucky to get in the first try. Oh boy. We got quite the fight here. I'm not excited. There's one last thing about the Clocktower. There's a particular boss. Meet one of the most infamous bosses in most Castlevanias. Death. Death hits hard. He has multiple projectiles flying all over the place. And sometimes he's a harder fight than the final boss. He is not a harder fight than the final boss in this game, but he is probably one of the most difficult fights up until you get to that said boss. There are a number of weapons, items, and souls that are going to make this guy easier if I find myself stuck. And of course, if I use enough healing items, he's really not so bad. But it's the sheer amount of projectiles, attacks, and everything on screen that you have to deal with that makes this guy so tricky. Luckily, you can break the little size. This beam attack is very well telegraphed. So as long as you can focus on everything all at once, he becomes a little easier. And if you have to prioritize where you're getting hit, just don't get hit by the beams. They hurt about 3 times as much as anything else he does. There we go. The real fight's begun. So now his attacks hurt a lot more. He's a lot more aggressive. And this is why this fight's trouble. I believe he also has 6,666 hit points, because of course he does. So we're going to go get one or two of those souls that I said was going to help me out. Right now, one of my big problems against that fight is a lack of range and offense. Look at this creep that's just standing behind me. How's it going, Brian? The Lightning Doll is one of those souls. Lightning Doll is actually an incredibly useful soul overall. You wouldn't know it from their abilities. Well, and we're also going to explore a little bit, because hopefully we can find some of those pieces of equipment that I was talking about to make our lives easier. Haven't been this way yet. Ah, this is not a way that we go. It's the way we come back through. It becomes a shortcut later. This is, in fact, one of the games that kicked off the Metroidvania craze. I believe that Symphony of the Night was actually the one that gets to claim that title. Well, this one was a lot more popular than that one ended up being, due to the fact that it was a handheld game and just really well put together. But it added the open-ended area collect-a-thon sort of wide open area that Metroid was very popular for, especially in the Super Metroid area. And they added that to the classic Castlevania style. Only slacking a little. Come on. I know you're a fairly rare soul, but it's a lot of lightning dolls to kill. I've got all the luck I can possibly have right now. Hey, stream delays being friendly to you. That's so nice, Sarah. How you guys digging the return to the FF style chat box, by the way? Come on. Just give me your soul already. You too, Brian. Hand it over.
No. Please, you only half the time you need for me to get my soul. Try it without not around.
Yes, I was asking how you liked the return to the Final Fantasy V style chat box. Sarah says, hey, Brian. Brian also says, hey, Brian.
Bye, guys.
Brian says, bye, guys. So does Megan. There it is. Whew. So Lightning Doll is the most expensive soul by far we have in the red soul category right now. However, it is long range and very high damage. This will allow us to stay a little bit away from that nasty scythe of his in the second round. The other soul I want to get is the Valkyries there. And she was very nice about it. Look at that. And 2 levels doesn't hurt either. Probably a little bit of a lower level than I usually am here. I have a tendency of wanting to get a lot of the souls as I go. Trying to get any items from him would be an exercise in futility, and I would go insane before I managed it. Now the Valkyrie is even slightly more expensive than Lightning Doll. But the Valkyrie soul is awesome. Slashes enemies with a sword, which doesn't sound that impressive. But it's a big sword. Long range, though it doesn't hit directly in front of you. Nice big arc, and huge holy elemental damage, which Death happens to be weak to. Again, this will allow us to stay far enough away from his attacks, while also pouring on the damage. Bam! Jumped right into his scythe. How amateur of me. Ah, put myself into a corner. Oh, down he goes. Also, I may have been exaggerating about his difficulty a little bit in the first take. And now he's trying to show me up because I said that. However, it was not to be. We do get a cool little blue soul there. Ultimately, it's not super useful, but it is fun. Not terribly expensive. And just tosses random sickles out. We also get Skula, which allows us to finally sink in water. He's iconic. Kyle Conic. Yep. Water sinking allows us to access a handful of areas we haven't been able to get to yet. Haha, 172. Lightning Doll, a big 220 on this guy. He really doesn't like it. These are two incredibly powerful souls that'll allow us to get to the end game no problem. We could have farmed up the Valkyrie soul earlier, and if I was stuck I would have, but we're doing okay now. We can't go that way, as we remember. Of course, Lightning Doll doesn't work so well on Lightning Doll. They're very resistant to lightning. Wow. And I really want this Gremlin soul for no apparent reason other than I don't remember where else to fight a Gremlin. So let's get this before we leave, guys. You've seen me go back and forth and beat up dolls. Now I'm fighting Gremlins. Don't be sneaky, that's rude. Come here. Thank you. It's going to be useless, isn't it? This one's going to be no good at all. There are death spikes in a Clocktower because Clocktowers in the Castlevania universe are awful. They're just the worst. Clocktowers in the Castlevania universe are where you send your worst enemies. They're full of bottomless pits, Medusa heads, death spikes, gremlins, angry dolls, giant suits of armor, and Death himself. Alright, I give up. Fine, we'll use it where it wants us to use it. Got the Burt Gang, which is a very nice upgrade for our basic attacks. Oop. Maybe some areas where the fronting is still a little bit better. It's slightly longer range, and it does have the poison element, which is very useful against certain creatures. But this will definitely replace it for our general use weapon. It even gives us a little bit of a defensive boost. Over here, we get a pitch black suit. Fancy. But for the time being, I think I'll keep the intelligence bonus to do more damage with Lightning Doll. But hey, at least we have some swanky clothing now. You're very rude, Valkyrie. Just trying to be nice. I can hear a spike that is a cat. Might as well use some of those potions we bought. That's what we bought them for. Hey, another gremlin. I can give it another try here if I want. Good. I was hoping we'd find one of those. Armor has a fun little soul as well. It does about what you'd expect. And now you know what's up there. Now I do want to try something now that I'm here. Just gotta find the room that it was in before. Here it is. If I can get the bats to chase me up this way, I should be able to bounce off of them and get that armor. Doesn't look like they will, though. So maybe, if I do something really tricky... Come on, turn around. Didn't come. Must have gone too far off screen. No, that's too high. Dang. They just go straight. Oh well. It was worth trying. I was hoping that I could get real sneaky with that one. I'll have to come back when I go and collect all the other stuff with the neat little ability they give you later. Just feels like that one should be able to be a little bit more sneakily done. I was trying to get the bats to fly up at me, straight up, so that I could get them over to nearby where that armor was, so that I could kick down and bounce off them in order to get all the way up to the armor. Millicant's sword. I like Millicant's sword. Looks real simple. Nothing too special, but can petrify things. And once they're petrified, they take a ton of damage. Obviously it's not so good against bosses or anything that can't be petrified. But it's very strong against the things that can be. No, it looks like they thought about that. They didn't want people getting that too early. It's just some strong armor, but I can understand why they wouldn't want that getting out of hand. Now, mind you, they didn't protect against everything. There is stuff that you can sneak to, if you're real clever. But it usually doesn't get you that far ahead. I'm using a lot of magic because I am very badly hurt right now. Hey, slime. That's a fun but fairly useless soul. Ancient Book 3. Well, that implies that there's more of those. The third spirit is a beautiful nightmare. Interesting. Wonder what that means. We've upgraded versions of the bone pillars, fish heads. Also, since it's the first time we've really been in water that's deep, turns out that we can swim with the skula as well, just by jumping over and over again. It's very hot fire. Well, this is a bad situation, so let's use a couple more of those potions we bought. And bring out the Valkyrie to cut through all these fish heads. Stop tooting your horn. Ow. Ah, the rune ring. Something I will replace my ability, my lucky charm with. Lets me regain magic much more quickly. Since I can regain hit points with magic, it's almost like regaining HP. Of course, that's only because I got the Persephone ability. Which is amazing, because it's a giant skull vacuum cleaner. Come on, that one was obvious. Oh, okay, I think the Yosefune. Nice katana, not really strong, but it's got a huge attack radius. That makes it useful in and of itself. Sort of like the whip sword. While its stats are not great, its ability is. Dang. I was hoping he'd be able to, be petrified. It's King Triton's angry brother, and all of his cousins. And he's working for Dracula, gambling debts. Perfect. Being slime, they're rather resilient to cut-based damage, unfortunately for me. Was that from you or was that from Harley? Whew. Ow, that was a rock. Ow, that was another rock. You jerk. He uppercutted me really hard. Last potion. Maybe he can be petrified. Nope. Takes some damage from lightning. Maybe he's weak against slime. Nope, he's not weak against slime. What game should we play Tuesday? I don't know a game called Life Hug. I don't know a game called Move or Die Best Game Ever. Sounds similar to other games I've played though. It's not mine to decide. I haven't played it yet, but I've taken a look at a video or two of it. Looks interesting enough. I think it's worth a try. There we go, just need to vacuum up some bats. Get my health back into a reasonable state. Oh, those fish towers sure are good for that. Well, it's certainly possible. We'd have a great time with it. As long as it doesn't control like Forced did. Well, if you don't tell me what it's called, I'm not going to be able to help you. We play a lot of games. Hey, he dropped his trident for me. Unfortunately, it's not very good. And he dropped his trident for me. Oh yeah, you know, I don't remember what it's called right now either. Well, I'll see what I can do about Saturdays, only Saturdays. Well, if you're gonna get fish heads, I think that might be the place to get their soul. 6 of them all clumped together, easy to kill with a single use of Valkyrie. Annoying dealing with the Tritons here, though. We do play a lot of D&D. We have a tendency of really, really liking it though, so that's our excuse. If you want to grind killer fish, this is the room to do it. Oh, I know. I wasn't being upset. And oons. Get a lot of oons here. Their soul's really not great, but I'm glad to get it. Ah, there we go. Been looking for one of these. Yeah, Oon. It does a lot of damage if you can get it to work. But it's really only for slow-moving enemies. Ah, here we go. I mean, it's not like a boss. Because, like, we'll fight him again. And, ironically, after what I said, Oon is actually pretty useful against the Great Golem. And most of the disc armor, or most of the armor enemies you're going to be facing here. So it's situational, but not bad. 3 hits, reasonable amounts of damage. And if you don't have Merman by now, well, you can always get it here and give it a try. Though it's massively outdated and not very good anymore. It wasn't even very good to begin with, to be honest. And here's where you can easily get the Mandragora's soul. Oops. Oh, I'm poisoned. Let's switch over to Zombie, which gives us a rather large boost in stats whenever we're poisoned. That's enough of that for now. Yeah, this is a pretty horrifying thing. But we do get some armor. And it's stronger against water tribute attacks, which is neat. But again, I like having my caster robe on. It has been a while since you bothered me to start playing games. I might be able to squeeze some time in, I'm not really sure, but never hurts to ask and never hurts for me to look. Whew. I am badly hurt. I need to vacuum some people. Missed. This is a very useful ability. Aha! Now this is a cool little thing. They give you little hints on how you're supposed to get through here, but they're very subtle. Luckily, we managed to pick up one of the souls that's able to do this. Now, you can't get through this waterfall normally. There are 3 symbols on the wall, and they all correlate to certain demons. Or enemies, anyway. 1 you're guaranteed to get through the game, but 2 you can get earlier. We happen to get one of them. Curly. Transforming temporarily gives you enough momentum to get through the waterfall, which gives you access to the Eversing, which is a very powerful suit of armor. And we will be equipping that over the item we currently have. It also gives you access to this area behind the waterfall, known as the Forbidden Area. Were-Jaguar is an upgraded version of the werewolf we've already seen. A little bit faster, a little bit less of a drastic wind-up on some of their attacks. And if I remember correctly, they have the chance to drop a fist weapon that you can only get from them. The Mock Fist, I believe. Hey, look at that. This leads back to an area we've already been. But we haven't been through this way, because we couldn't get this way before, because we couldn't slide. Would have led us into the Forbidden Area, and we wouldn't have been able to get past that little sliding stone door. But it did give us the Forbidden Book 1, which I remember seeing and saying, we gotta come back here. The first spirit is a demon from Hellfires. What do you think the books mean? So far it says the first and the third demon, and it describes them slightly. Yeah, 9 days. I'm sure you've spent that long marathoning some of your favorite Netflix shows. Ah! Cool pirate ship. Dead end. It was awfully heavily guarded for a dead end. And here, oh, here we have a game breaker of a weapon. Oh, hidden weapon in a hidden area. It doesn't get much stronger than this. It gives us 7 points to all of our stats and over 100 attack power. In addition, it's wholly elemental, which does a ton of damage against most enemies. It's also fast and has a huge swing radius. Now, we can use this, or we can wait till we're towards the end of the game to use this, because this outclasses every piece of equipment we're going to come across. What do you guys think? This is basically the infinity +1 sword of the game. Not quite, but almost. There's a couple of absolutely absurd weapons that you can get in the post-game stuff, but this is about as good as it's going to get for the rest of the game. Oh, do we want to use this super powerful sword? Because it is going to basically overpower everything else we're going to come across until the very end of the game. Or do we want to wait till that point so that we get to experience some of the other weapons? Alright, well we'll stick that in our back pocket, and if we're ever really stuck, we know we've got it as an option. This place, look at all the treasure. Flame demon. Nasty. Ah! Nastier. Wait. I don't know why I thought that wall would be breakable, but it really did. Ah, the mimic. I'm not going to get his soul, at least not on screen. That takes way too long. But it's part of a way to get a ton of money if you're ever short of it in the end game. If I remember correctly, it's a yellow soul, which translates damage you take into cash. I'm not quite sure how exactly that works. I'd try not to think about the specifics of that action. Hey, Mudman. I can throw mud at people. I do want the Flame Demon soul, though. It's a pretty useful soul. I don't think it's quite as good as the Merman, not a Merman, the Valkyrie or the Lightning Doll, but it is good. Hey, Mr. Wizard. Not so bad. Oh, thank you. Come on. See, that's how much stronger this sword is. Two swings from that rather than a bunch of swings and a spell cast. And still no soul. It's not a rare soul. You're just being a jerk. Come on now. That's the gimmick. Give me that money. Sarah, he's not being nice. Told you I used up all my luck in the first run. The first day of this, rather. Getting that great armor soul definitely just broke the RNG. I mean, the lightning doll was kind of within reason. The Valkyrie soul was lucky. This is very unlucky. Just keep cutting his hand off over and over again. Silly frickin' flame demon. You don't even want your soul anymore. Sunk cost fallacy. It's gotta be worth it now. Oh, wow. Now that's rare. I mean, it's not going to be any good against him, but as you can see, it's really strong. I might put off using that on it a little bit. Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure you can only get the sword from the Flame Demon. I don't think it appears naturally in the game at all, unless Hammer sells it. Never paid much attention to his endgame shop. I've literally got the rarer drop from him than his soul. Give me your soul, Flame Demon. There, just had to reset the RNG a little bit. Like I said, it's not super awesome, but I do like being able to throw a triple fireball. Let's try this fire sword since I at least earned this one. Wow, they don't like fire at all. And I mean, I didn't really have any ability to do fire damage before this. Now I have two ways. Hello, tree people. The same thing with the Eversing. I'll hang off on using that until I get later in the game when the equipment catches up. Really show how useful the fire damage can be here too, with all the enemies that don't really seem to like it too much. Although Mudman doesn't seem to be vulnerable to it. Neither does the Were-Jaguar. But still, this is a strong weapon, so... But the Dryads and the Alurains absolutely detest the damage. All right. Looks like that's all there is to do in here. For the time being, at least. Oh, the worms don't like fire either. Though, of course, this guy carrying fire around doesn't care about it so much. And Medusa heads, well, they're just not that strong. Demons, of course, well, they don't really care that they're getting hit by fire so much. Gorgon, take it or leave it. Doesn't seem to affect him overly much. Ooh, and Tritons don't like it. Yeah, the Flame Demon's more useful than I remember then. Hits a lot of weaknesses. And on the bigger enemies, you can hit more than once, making it a not quite as useful Flame Elemental Lightning Doll, but still solid. Yep. I can definitely get behind this. Oh, that's not good. Damn, I hate to be interrupted. Yoko! Did he teleport? Are you alright? If you're okay, say something. Anything. I'm alright. Thank you for rescuing me. Graham, that bastard, what has he done? He's absorbed this cast's power. And he's gotten much stronger. My plan has failed. Save your strength, there's no need to speak. Be cautious of him, but don't overexert yourself. She's just unconscious. She's still breathing. I underestimated the amount of power he acquired. Don't just stand there mumbling. Yoko's in bad shape. Go. I will see to her wounds. I can't just leave her like this. She's my friend. Do not worry about her. I believe there are other things you need to do. Graham went to the throne. What's there? What are you hiding from me? I cannot say. You must go there yourself, and if you don't, you will lose Mina and Yoko as well. Their fate is in your hands. Damn you. I don't like your attitude, but I don't think you're lying. I feel as if I'm being manipulated. I don't like it, but I'll do as you say. But if we escape from this castle alive, I want to know everything. Fair enough. I'll be on your way. Still ways to go down here. Oh, quite a ways to go down here. Aha! Always hit walls. You might find pudding! Wall pudding. Successor to the wall turkeys of the original Castlevanias. Haha! Alright, well let's use the fun sword. Whoa, hello, Flame Demon. Didn't know you were here too. If you gave me a soul, I was going to be very upset with you. Well, I'm going to be changing my equipment a little, or my soul setup a little bit. No. Yes. Oh no, let me get the door for you guys. We're at another boss fight. Here we face Legion. And the Osafune is actually going to be my preferred weapon for this fight. Long range, so I can hit him. It's made up of several parts, and he drops parts of himself off as well. And if you get behind, it's really hard to get back ahead of him. It's not a terribly difficult boss, to be honest. Well, at least not at first. The trick is that you want to make sure you clear his shell completely before you start attacking the core. While this does make him a lot harder to fight, it means you actually get the reward for fighting him. And luckily, he's very weak to holy damage. So a few castings of Valkyrie is all you need. And by clearing all four sections around him, we actually get his soul. Legion, I mean, being a boss soul that you can miss, is one of the only souls you can miss in the game. If not the only soul. And it's excellent. Very expensive at 66 points of use. But pretty sweet. Wide range, high damage. Really, the only thing that hurts it is its cost. And a small amount of starting lag, as you see. Lightning Doll is a little more cost efficient, which is why it usually gets used, and it has a chance of hitting multiple times, as well as having a quicker startup time. Legion, I think, does more damage overall. Galamoth. Recognize places in which time has been stopped. It's one of the less impressive ways of gating the advancement in this game, I think. There's one or two spots where there are these rabbits who pull a stopwatch out of their hat, and then you're all of a sudden back at the start of the room you just entered. And just everything else gives you abilities to get past things. A double jump, a backdash, a slide, things like that. This just lets you not be affected by that, which is just a lot lazier. Well, not lazier, just it's less exciting. Hey, the gold ring. Well, if you're ever short on money, wear the gold ring. I think there's a couple of spots in particular where that's useful to wear to gain money. but I'd have to double check. Right now, though, we're in no shortage of money. At 20,000, we have more than enough for what we need. And there's not a whole lot at Hammer's shop, except a couple very expensive things that we're gonna want. And that's only if we're going for 100%. That being said, should we go for 100% completion? Which really just means 100% of all souls. We're gonna already be collecting pretty much all of the treasure, if not all of it entirely. Do it. Oh, there's gonna be some grinding. You're gonna see a lot of back and forth in the same rooms like you saw already. Well, there's gonna be a lot more of it. Oh! It does give us the Mach Punch. This isn't a super rare item, but it is really cool to see it. I mean, we could grind all the items as well, but some of them are real silly and a real pain in the butt to get. But I don't have a problem with 100% souls. These guys aren't really a great way to show off what the Mach Punch does, because as you see they get knocked back a lot. But the Mach Punch is incredibly fast attacking, and like the Cut-All, it hits twice whenever you pull the trigger. So if it's an enemy that doesn't flinch, you can rack up a lot of damage really quickly. It's also fun, just because, you know, we've got these legendary swords, swords made of fire, made of poison, all this. Or we can just pummel monsters to death. Now it does lose its effectiveness somewhat on high defense monsters. But I think it combos very well with the vacuum cleaner. What a mean boss. There is not a save point for miles. This castle's real big. We've only seen, well, we've seen 80% of it. We've seen most of it. Hey, look at that. We got needles. So we get to throw little pointy mines, basically. Ah, the arena. This is a cool little place. Lots of interesting enemies, a lot of things to fight, and a lot of treasure to gather. And also skeletons who fire lasers at you. And this interesting enemy, the Killer Mantle. Who I just love that he pulls out a knife and tries to stab you. Really? Neither of those can be petrified either. Man. Oh, he's rather resilient to Leviathan. Or Legion. You're just a pain in the butt, Beam Skeleton. Oh, awesome. I was hoping to get his soul. It's not very tough to get. but it's fun. Like a mini legion. Killer Mantle's got an interesting ability, which isn't going to be 100% required if we're getting all souls. Or at least, if not required, the only way I'm going to stay sane. Ooh, teleportation. Well, let's head back to the start. See what Hammer's got, see what everybody has to say. A lot of things have happened since we've been back and talked to everybody. I wonder if Yoko will be alright. Do you know Yoko? Yes, she's been coming to my house since I was very young. Because I'm an only child, she's been like a big sister to me. I see. Did our Ricardo bring him in here? Yes, he did. Then I'm sure she's okay. He said not to worry about her. He was confident he could save her. That's why he brought her here. If you say that she'll be fine, I believe you. Alright, good night, Harley. Dream of demons and nightmare horses. See you in a bit, Sarah. I know this is tough for you, but hang in there. Okay, leave it to me. And Yoko's napping. Hey, that woman back there, she okay? I don't know. She's been wounded pretty badly. The medicine I have won't help much. Hope she'll be alright. Me too. Know why I say that? 'Cause she's my type. Well, I got a business to run. What do you like? Well, let's restock on potions. Let's see what he has to sell. Can pick up a cut-all now. Lance, Claymore. We have a partisan. We can get Graham. Ooh, Ascalon is new, and look at that attack power. At 12,000 would nearly drain us dry, but it would hit hard. We can pick up the armor of water that we found. Silver plate, gold plate. There we go. That's the item we want. As you can see, there's an issue. That's where the gold ring and the mimic come in handy. So we'll have to get those if we plan on getting the Soul Eater ring to save our sanity. Now, I might come back to the Ascalon. We got ourselves a lot of tasty meat from various fish-type enemies. And all kinds of other food. Don't need this combat knife anymore. Or this broadsword. The Joyeuse is only really useful for selling, but it is a decent weapon. You can sell the hammer, the rapier, the cut-all. Sell both of the tridents we got, as well as all three of the partisans. Sell cloth tunic, leather plate, copper plate, silk robe, it's a regular cape, as well as the scarf. Try and hold on to the things that we only can pick up one of. Just, you know, the completionist in me. And look at that, we're all topped up. Forget if it's just going into that room or talking to Mina that does it, but it doesn't quite act as a save point, though it does heal us, which is the important thing at that point. We were in rough shape. Excuse me. So let's go this way. Well, we had more stuff to do in the arena. Well, now I'm confused. Why didn't we continue to go left here? I thought this was a different area when I looked at it. Haha! Ugh, poison. Oh, we just forgot to go left. Well, that was silly. Oh, well, it connects there, so that's neat. If you want the giant worm, here's where we get it. Hey, you got Cognazo. I like him. He's just funny. Hang on, let's fix this. And with the rune ring, we can basically keep him up at all times. Finally. It's been a while since we found one of those. Hey, there we are. The Rahab sword. We get the ice variant of the fire sword. Now I certainly don't feel bad about using the fire sword. It's only a little bit stronger than this, and a totally different element. That's 117. The Leviathan, Levitine, is 132, so they're not really weak or strong against either of those abilities. But due to the way that this creature works, Yosafune is my weapon of choice. It's generally useful all the time underwater due to the lack of real hardy enemies and the verticality of it all. Reaches overhead so far you don't have to really worry about any of the tricky spots. It looks like we've made our way back here. So, was there another place we could go underwater usefully? Oh, this was it. We started in the other one. So it looks like those underwater areas were connected. Well, rather than pushing forward through the arena for the time being, where are we? Is it here? This must be it. I see a door, I see a hallway there that's not explored. This is it, yes. Thanks, Persephone. You've been very useful. This is also the hallway that I would suggest that you try and get the Valkyries from. You know, if you're playing along at home. This whole area is actually quite useful. Persephone, Curly, I forget if Nemesis there, the sword, is any good, but hey, if you're getting everything else in here, you might as well get that one at the time. Curly's actually not a very rare soul to drop. I tend to get it through here whether I'm trying to get it or not. Though I would suggest that you keep Ghost Dancer equipped if you manage to pick it up. Again, Ghost Dancer isn't that tricky to get. The enemy spawns in large groups, and it's not a super rare soul. Oh wait, I've already got the witch. I don't have the student witch. I can't throw cats at people. Durga, Curly's palette swap, is unfortunately not quite as useful as Curly herself. And Curly is honestly only all that useful for getting through the waterfall as early as you can. This little guy, oh. Well, we'll come back when we have the Soul Eater ring. He's too annoying otherwise. For some reason, you can't hit him until after he flashes his stopwatch, and then he runs away as fast as he physically can. It's just the worst. Judging by the enemies in here, you're actually supposed to come here before you finish the arena anyway. Guess they expect you to do a lot more backtracking than I do sometimes. Could explain the equipment as well. That water sword doesn't quite beat out the stuff that you'll get at the arena. Ah, the Dane's Leaf. Well, it's not that much weaker than the Acclaimed Celas, but as you can see, oh, there's the second ancient book. Red, blue, yellow. Demon from Hellfires, the King of Bats, and a Beautiful Nightmare. Dane's Leaf is still not nearly as powerful as Acclaimed Celas, due to its lack of range, slower swing, and the fact that it actually lowers a few of your stats. I think it's actually cursed. But no one can deny that it hits like a truck. I'm glad she's so happy with her glasses. Not sure what that little X that keeps popping up on enemies is with this. It must inflict some kind of a status. Well, you know, once you can see, it's really strange to suddenly go back to not being able to see. That's the way we want to go. We want to go back to that looking glass. Well, I'm glad you're being a better role model for glasses now. Yeah, I believe the Dane's Leaf might be dark attributed. Due to how much it just did to the Valkyrie there. It's one of the few enemies resilient to holy damage. Doesn't do too much against the Kyoma demon, so yeah. I suppose the other reason why the Dane's Leaf is not quite as strong as the stats would make you believe is it's Dark Elemental, which a lot of things tend to be resistant to in a Evil Fortress. Alright, so with our new Darkness Elemental weapon and our Water Elemental sword, let's push on through the arena. See, only 57 damage on that guy. Hey, thanks, Skull Malone. Of course, skeletons can't be poisoned, so that was kind of useless. Guess this wouldn't be a bad place to get gargoyle souls. Especially if you're hanging around to get a chariot. And again, skeletons, they don't take any damage from that. Come on, Persephone. Oh, Killer Mantle does not like fire. Good to know. Right about here, by the way, is where you grind for your Killer Mantle. especially with this right here. I wonder. Yep, that's how I'll do it. Well, he dropped some ramen for me. Oh, I feel dumb. Oh, everyone grinding souls has done that at least once, I'm sure. Oh, it dropped the soul, but it takes a second for it to fly around the screen before it gets to you, and I left the screen before it got to me. Just a case of me not paying enough attention. Could be a lot worse. It's not a difficult soul to grind, and it's not a super rare one. So it's being a touch stubborn other than that one drop. Not terribly stubborn though. Well within the curve. I've been using it since before you were born. There it is. So swapping the HP and MP of enemies is a very difficult thing to know if it's a good idea or not. Because it never states how much MP an enemy has. But there are enemies where it's incredibly useful on, and other ones where it's a terrible idea to do.
So I went to Wyoming.
Right?
And they have like tablets on the... There's tablets on the tables.
Good,
So
good wording.
We were watching this.
Yeah.
And when we left, we just left it on. I was like, hi to Wild Wing.
Hi, Wild Wing.
Like, should we turn this off? Nah. We watched you fight the bad boss.
Oh, that's Legion. It's made up of It's made up of millions of bodies, or maybe just thousands. Hey, we have a wall here and a wrecking ball. Ow! We got Olrox's suit. An armored suit once worn by Olrox. Now that one I think I will switch to. Got ourselves a fancy suit. Got ourselves a fire sword. I'm digging it. Hey! Damn it! Every time! And we have the rare ring. Not only does it give us a good chunk of luck, it also increases the appearance rate of rare items. Very handy ring if you plan on getting all the cool little pieces of equipment that this game likes to drop your way. Close enough. I'm actually going to use the Osafune here for coverage. Not this time. Fool me thrice, shame on me. And the Balmung. This one's really interesting. Along with having just huge damage, it comes out in this really interesting teleporting stab kind of arc. know if it's that useful of a attack pattern, but it is neat. Whew. That's the treasures I was talking about. Oh, luckily, just over here we have ourselves a save point. Yeah, we're not actually fighting the giant bat. So, that does 118, that's not bad. What does the Dark Sword do to him? About the same. But it's got a faster swing. Doesn't seem to be weak against fire. Doesn't seem to be weak against ice. There's only one answer then. We punch him back. And this is why I like the kicker skeleton so much for this fight. Honestly, once you get past the fists, he's already beaten anyway. You just gotta keep doing the double hop at the right time, or you can just bounce on his eye. But yes, Balor is really easily cheesed with the kicker skeleton. But I wanted to punch him so that I felt like I earned the Balor ability, which takes 120 stinking mana. Hi, Ames. But we do get the giant bat soul, which gives us the ability to fly. That's basically the last movement ability, though not 100%. Oh. Jay, what's wrong? You look pale. Don't worry. Just now, all of my memories came flooding back. What? It seems your dark power triggered the return of my memories. Just like I guessed, I have quite an extensive history with Dracula. I thought so. My real name is Julius Belmont. I'm a descendant of the clan that has fought against Dracula for ages. And the person who destroyed Dracula in 1999 was, yes, it was me. But there were others who assisted me. So if Dracula is revived again, just as it is written in the history, then I must destroy him. It is my destiny. You haven't met a man named Graham yet, have you? Graham? Oh, you mean the missionary, right? I met him a little while ago, but when he saw my face, he turned and ran. He told me that he was Dracula. I did sense Dracula's powers at work within him, but it's difficult to believe that he's Dracula. Rather, I think... No, forget it. It is nothing more than a hunch. Huh? Assuming that he is Dracula, I won't be able to kill him yet. Why not? I need my weapon. Your weapon. Yes. It's a whip that was handed down to me. It's called Vampire Killer. In 1999, I sealed it in this castle to weaken his spirit and magical powers. Then it's in this castle somewhere. Yes, and I know exactly where it is. I'll go and get it now. Alright, please be careful. Pray that my hunch proves to be wrong. Farewell for now. Yeah, Balor allows us to throw a devastating punch, which takes about a third of our mana right now. And if we miss, we feel like an idiot. But yes, we now have Giant Bat. The only problem with Giant Bat is how much mana, or how much MP it costs to keep up. But it's real cool. Bam! 500 damage. Balor packs the punchest. Oh! Bang! Were-Tiger down. Didn't think we were done with the arena. There's tons to do here, but right now I'm going to go to the earlier areas of it rather than pushing on into the areas that require Giant Bat. Aha. There it is. Now we can throw an uppercut if we want to. Or just... Olay! Oh, we do get the Levitain here as well. My mistake, it's not just dropped by the Flame Demons. I'm not a were-lion. You're lion. Olay! I will. Thank you, sir. Oh, I'm under contract too? So there's a lot of stuff we can go back and get now that we've got the Giant Bat Soul. It's basically the ultimate movement soul. Welcome back. Looks like he's got about everything he's ever going to have, and I'd really like to get that, but I don't have that kind of gold. However, I will buy the Ascalon. I don't believe we can get that anywhere else. And it's a very powerful sword in its own right. Though I don't believe it's dark elemental like the Dainsleif. Oh, the watermelon, the Walter Melon wheat beer, I think it was. Welcome back. I have a message from you from Arikado. From Arikado? Yes, it's, there should be ancient books that talk about Dracula's power hidden somewhere in this castle. I wonder what they're about. I see. Come back again later. Maybe I'll have another message from Arikado. Ah, that's the problem with the sword. You can't cancel it with the jump trick. It's too slow. It does hit real hard though. Pretty sure it's not elemental. Well, I suppose it's sword elemental. Oh hey, the White Dragon Soul. That's something I don't have to get now. And since I'm just running around, let's make sure, yeah, we do have the room on, never mind. We're back here again. We tried to get the bats to do it for us earlier, but we can finally get this armor up here. The Armor of Fire. And compared to Old Rock's suit, it is terrible. Which is why I was trying to get this earlier. What if I bring vodka gummy worms? Am I invited then? Oh wait, this is the way we're actually supposed to go. Let's not go this way yet. At least it's nice and obvious where we're headed to next. can take the shortcut up there now if we need to. We can finally get this. The Yatsusuna. An utterly disappointing katana at this point. You can also get the Tull Hammer, which at least is unique in that it's a lightning hammer. Again, not the best weapon. Oh, pardon me. It's the quickest way to get there. I guess we'll just keep continuing this way. I really want to know what's so special about this katana that it makes you wait so long, only to get something that's completely underwhelming. I'll try to stop yawning. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. I'm sorry. Oh, I forgot to come back and get this a long time ago. I could have got that as soon as I had the double jump. So it's understandable that the heart pendant is very outdated at this point. I don't think so. Am I? Do I seem Lovato-esque? Levadish? Do I seem Levadish? Shortcut. back to the forbidden area. So we haven't quite completely gotten everything here. And don't worry, it's not all complete game breakers in here. There's fun stuff too. Oh, I'm not allowed to sing on stream. Contractual obligations, I'm not allowed to hurt people. So, there's Longius's spear, which is Longius's spear, which is very powerful. One of my favorite weapons, even though it looks silly. There's that, which we saw before. There's this. Which just leads to a super potion and a flesh golem. I mean, that's both good. The flesh golems, as with most golems, don't have any MP. So if you're going to try and get their souls, or their drops, Killer Mantle is the way to do it. Otherwise, you gotta chip through 200 damage. There we go. Flesh golem's weird. I'm not gonna go into exactly how it works just yet, but suffice to say, it's a very strange soul. No, I'm not allowed. What if somebody watches the VODs and gets sick? It can kill a dog at 30 paces. Ugh. Fine, I'll just use some of these, where are they, mind-ups. And I just love that this is in this game. You can just get a handgun. Blame Paul, blame Paul. Now the handgun isn't actually very good, but it is a lot of fun. Now, Rangius' spear is another holy elemental weapon, which makes it quite powerful even without the insane amount of damage it has. Again, not quite as good as the Claim Solus, but certainly a lot more on par with it. Yeah, this katana just isn't special. It says it killed a demon once, and I mean you can if you hit it enough times. Really not special. Really a shame. Could have had something cool there. Go back to the arena and finish searching that. But I want to go find this last little spot first. Oh, does the tall hammer hit twice? That makes it a very viable weapon. Once with the hammer and once with the lightning, maybe? Cool. Oh, it hits all throughout its swing. That's really neat. 42.35 second survey. I don't know. I could spare 4.1 seconds. But I don't know if I could spare 44.1 second. 3 seconds. You know what? I'm discussing this for longer than it's going to take. I might as well just do it. I show up at what's this place? And that doesn't really apply. We just did that. It's fine. Is if anything that another limited, but still. You know what? I'm not even that excited about that. It'd be neat, but I like the combos better. Probably those. And maybe that. And I don't care, but I think that's a good idea. That doesn't interest me, so I mean, that's fair. I shouldn't say that. And yeah, materials.
Alex in here.
Yeah, I like to read the rules, but I'm weird. Alright, there you go, you heathen. It's so important to you. There, stupid spot is gone. It was driving me nuts. To be fair, Ames, I've never met Jasper and I still love him more than most people. Take that, horsey. I give up already. To be fair, now, to be fair, we do it here too. Oh gosh, I thought I could slide down there somewhere. Oh, it's gonna take me forever to get over there. This is a bad idea. What's the quickest way to there? It's not really a quick way to there. That sucks. I guess this is the quickest. Neat. Oh, there's a solo room in that teleporter maze. How do I get over there? I guess that's that easy, huh? Hmm. Quick attempt for the gremlin again. Ugh. Just not my day to get him, is it? Alright, that's why I didn't go that far. Dang it! Thought it was a time stop room. Hey, a battle axe. Not great, but fun. Dang it. Oh yeah, I never used the Were-Jaguar soul yet. Or Were-Tiger, sorry. That's not bad. So far, I would say that this is my favorite all-around sword. Fire damage is useful on a lot, not much resists it. I mean, there's not a ton that's actually weak against. But it also comes out fast. Doesn't leave you hanging at the end like the heavier weapons do. It looks pretty flashy, and that's important. A Kunitsuna? Sister to the disappointing sword. That's just, ugh. How lazy. This is a black cloak. Well, I actually want at least, I think it's the succubus soul that I do want. Well, maybe it's the Lilith soul. What's gonna be the quickest way to do this? Crimson Cloak gives us a little bit of int, a little bit of defense. The Black Cloak gives us a lot of defense and a little more int. Plus, it's fancy looking. Always important. Well, let's bring this out for this at least. I was hoping it would only take 2, but way to tell everybody, family. Good job. One of these gives me an MP regeneration ability, I think. Ugh, come on. Oh, that's even better. That's the one I was looking for. Forgot if it was HP or MP. Hey, hey! Regening now. Where are you? Punching is now healing forever. Oh, nice uppercut, sir. Stop walking forward, it's annoying. Guess that's it here. Hallway to get money. A good place to get a couple of souls. Hey, the Dead Crusader. That gives us a huge con boost. Too bad the Succubus is better. And Bale gives us a ton of intelligence. Nice. Time to move forward. Okay, you know what? I feel like punching the final guard to death too. You not so tough, final guard. Eat Dark Sword, Aranis. Seems like an odd place. Ah, well that's very handy. A lot of exploring to do in this new area. Being able to leave. Come back this far in could be very useful. All those skulls are very intimidating. Yay! Finally, I know what that's for. Ooh, that looks pretty final bossy. Ooh, I was looking for you. Committing to streaming? Oh, it's a terrible idea. Don't do it. You meet all kinds of crazy people and you never have any fun. This seems like a bad idea. That seems really final bossy. Let's not go that way. The Kaladbolg. A sword of darkness. Oh, too fancy for you, bud. Clear these squares. Okay. And here's where you actually really need the killer mantle. And hidden in here is the hippogriff. Not useful, not necessarily, not a necessary skill, but really cool. Saves you a lot on the uses of your giant bat. Allows you to do a huge upwards jump. so we can continue down before I go up that really imposing looking staircase. I gotta say, the Mach Punch so far has been my favorite weapon in the game. Just being able to pummel things so fast and getting all those hits doubling up with the Succubus ability is really useful. But mostly it's because I get to pummel the bad guys. I'm just surprised it's actually workable. Like, I can do it, and it isn't that much harder. Fastest hands in the West, man. Oh, that's a friendly looking fella. He just wants to give you a hug, look. There's a dragon. And the final guard. What a pansy. Satan's Ring. Just a general stat booster. A little bit of everything, really. Good defense. But I prefer the Rune Ring or the Rare Ring, either for the luck and increased item drops, or the increased mana regeneration. Alright, let's walk up that staircase. Alright, I think I'll take the Witch. That might be useful on some things. The Lightning Doll. Long range, and if I get close, it'll do more damage. Actually, first, giant bat this. Nothing up here? Can't go above that? Nope. Alright. No, we stick with this. We punch. Oh, hello, Graham. You're too late, Soma. Dracula's power is already in my grasp. Dracula's power doesn't concern me. I came here to find a way out of this castle. With my new abilities, I can get you out of here quite easily. You, however, have some property of mine in your possession. The souls of my demons are under your control. Can I forgive such a crime? No, never. If I knew how, I'd return them all to you right here and now. Even if you return them, you have still committed the crime of stealing. Don't you know that? It's only right that thieves receive the punishment they deserve. You're one selfish bastard. You're guilty of grand theft. Therefore, I sentence you to death. You're insane. And as a special treat, I myself will deliver the punishment. Oh, I can punch those. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, I definitely need longer range. Oh. That's decent damage. I figured he'd be really resistant to darkness. He's not. Interesting. How about fire? He's throwing a lot of fire. Maybe he's resistant to fire. Not really. Ice. Works as well as anything else. The old poison sword. I mean, it's not good. Alright. Oh, darkness sword it is. It's quick, it's strong. Ugh, you mean the slide? Oh, that's new. Certainly leaves himself open during this, though. I can't believe it. I haven't lost yet. You still don't have Dracula's power. I'll show you. Oh, that's gross. Oh, that's... Whoa, what the hell? This is actually quite easy. Hands sparkle before they stab. You can duck under them. I mean, he does hit really hard. 100 damage is nothing to sneeze at. That's not... No! Magical powers he absorbed have abandoned him. The castle is weak now. The castle is weak now. The portal to your world should be opening. So what should I do? Order the castle to open the portal. It has felt your power and may obey. All right, we'll give it a try. I command you to open. Return all of us living beings to where we came. Nothing happened? You're wrong. The fabric of space is beginning to tear. Have we returned? Yeah, there's no mistake. We made it home. Excellent. You've done well. What happened to the others? No need to worry about them. They'll be here soon enough. And the castle is still in the eclipse? Yes. It awaits the coming of its new master. Someday, someone will assume the form of Dracula again. When that time will be, I do not know. What's wrong, Soma? We made it back home. Why the sad face? I feel like the castle's still calling out to me. Maybe the castle's where I truly belong? You're imagining things. You just escaped from there. You are home. Yeah. I hope it's just my imagination. If you're ever summoned by the castle again, you can deal with it at that time. For now, you should rest. Yeah, you're right. And that was Castlevania, Aria of Sorrow. Not a bad game, but like I said, we're not quite done yet. For those of you who have played the game before, yes, I know. And we're going to be going back, we're going to be getting all the souls. As well as doing 100% map completion, though I probably won't be getting all the drops, I'll be honest. There's some stuff still to see. After all, we never figured out what those books did we? And they seem to be quite interesting. Arikado even told Mina to try and pass on a message to us, and he basically tried to stay in the shadows as much as he could. Wonder who he actually is. Wonder what his connection to all this is. Graham, we know. Jay turned out to be Julius Belmont. And we never did see Julius again, did we? He sort of went off to get his whip, and then that was it. That doesn't seem like a satisfying ending at all, does it? Even Soma said, the castle seems to still be calling out. Are you comfortable with it ending there? Do you really think that's the end? Well, one way or the other, it'll have to wait. It's 9 o'clock, I've been with you guys for 3 hours, and I have a few other things to do. So for now, I will bid you adieu, adieu, adieu. It's been fun playing Castlevania with you. I think I'm going to continue playing Castlevania with you after this game is done, because, well, I just can't get enough. So as you can see here, we have lots of stuff coming up for you. We have all kinds of things for you. Tomorrow, Clockwork and Constructs. Sunday, Salty Wizard. Monday, Astonishingly Average. Tuesday, Dysfunctional Party. Wednesday, The Legend of Brian. We have, in that order, we have D&D, Rocket League, you told me, Starbound, Couch Co-op Games, and Hyrule Warriors before you come back to Castlevania. Lots of fun stuff. Also, we're sponsored now. We have all kinds of cool stuff you can see directly below me. Well, directly below the schedule here. We have a wonderful gaming chair by Pulse Labs that if you use that link right there, our little coupon, you get a discount and we get a cut of the profits. In addition, we're also sponsored by Humble Bundle. If you like anything that Humble Bundle does, use the link below us and you can order the Humble Bundle as per usual, but you can decide to throw a bit of money our way if, you like us or if our sponsor showed you the Humble Bundle that you might not have known about. In addition, if you sign up for Humble Monthly, first time you do, we get $10. It's not so bad if you're planning on doing it anyway. Not to mention there is Rotten Rags. It's a local Canadian-based t-shirt company. They do all kinds of really cool, comfortable horror t-shirts. If you use the coupon code BWSENTME, that is coupon code BWSENTME at rottenrags.com. Get yourself a discount on a really cool shirt. That being said, guys, I hope you have a good night. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. And I hope I see you tomorrow at Clockwork and Constructs. Things are getting interesting. Time magic and all sorts of family debates and, well, a nation on the brink of war. Should be good. Good night, everybody.